And we are live, guys. We are live. And we'll go to large screen, transition this over. There we go. And let's go to okay, how come I can't get this to see? Okay, we got full screen. We want to go to live stream. We go to here to here. There we go. We've got the live going. And now we will share the screen and share the live. There we go. Back to the stream and transition that over. There. Hey, look at that. Things are looking up. The transition worked. And let's go back to the music section and play that soft hip hop. What's going to happen when it gets to the 520? Did it just quit? Okay. Now let's go back to here. Put the loop on. There we go. Okay. It looks like that finally worked. Maximize the screen so I can see more. We're going to wait for paste. We'll pop that in. There we go. Like I said, I encourage everyone to go have a look at that link there. I could never explain that myself. Okay, we got that in set up. Stream Elements is finally, yes, Stream Elements popped up. Thank you. So I've got to delete my last live. I was doing experimenting, and it was unlisted, so nobody could even find it. And now if this one's finally public. 58 minutes. So let's write that down. 58. And I'm going to have to unfortunately write 00 for seconds. Because it's by the time it shuts off or shuts down, you don't know whether it's hello, John. You don't know whether it's how many seconds it is. So can you hear the mute? There's music supposed to be playing. Is it like too loud, too annoying, or can you actually even hear it? It's supposed to be the default music that comes with. I could turn up the volume, turn down the volume. I might have it like too low so you can't even hear it. But I don't know why you'd want to put music in the background anyway. But it was there, so I thought I'd play it. Yeah, every once in a while I can hear something. I got it pretty low. I am going to Eshkaret tomorrow. Let me see. What did I have written down here? I got to take my itinerary with me so that I know what to do at what times, because there's over 50 different events to go and see at this Eshkaret. And I don't, if you could be stuck at one place for like way too long. Cartel are at it again, Wayne. Did you hear about Americans getting killed down there, bro? No, I don't even worry about cartel at all. Um, I've been here for 6 months, and I could have walked by a hundred of them. I could have walked by none of them. Um, Thing is, if you go looking for trouble, you'll probably find it, you know. But I don't worry about the cartel at all. I'm not doing anything that they need. And um, I guess the only places you see there, the several months ago, the cartel did something in Cancun here. Usually they come in off the beach on Sidus. They come up and they start. They're not looking to kill bystanders, innocent bystanders. They're looking for, you know, people that are invading their drug thing or whatever they're doing. Um, they're pretty low profile otherwise, but yeah, innocent people do get hurt. They don't really care about people. If you're in the way, you're in the way. Too bad, they say. Um, but the streets are full of. They got three different kinds of police here. They got the municipal police, they got the city police, and they got the military police. And they've uh, they've sent over 100,000 police force into a lot of the Mexican cities. Cancun is one of them. Um, like so they're all over the streets and on the beaches and what have you, you know, keeping an eye. They're looking after the public. So no, I don't bother with I don't have TV, so I don't see or hear them at all. There's a place in every city that you don't even want to go to at nighttime, even in Medicine Hat. 60, 70,000 people. There's a place, my friend got mugged there. Like, same as in Cancun. There's a place here where they say you don't really want to go there. Uh, Very scary. Even the taxi drivers won't, some of them just won't take you there. But I mean, there's people on YouTube that they go there on purpose just to see what would happen. Like I said, if you're just going as a tourist and you're not bothering anybody and you're not doing drugs or looking for drugs, they don't care about you. So, yeah, I'm sure they're listening to me. They're listening for me to talk about the cartel. Yeah. Uh, I'm going back in May. The time's going real fast now. It's March. We got another half a month of March. Then we're into April, and then after that, I'm one more week, and then I'm at the end of April, 5 days, and then I'm gone. I would like to just go back to Canada for a day or two, and then come back again for another 6 months. That'd be cool because you can do that. You can leave the country. I mean, you got to make sure you leave the country, and then come back, and they give you another 6 months. And Cancun is one of the better places to come back to. Some cities are a little bit harder than um, to, like when you come into the country at the airport is when they can say yes or no. They can give you however much time they feel. Um, if they think you're only allowed 2 weeks, well then you're only allowed 2 weeks and that's it. If they say you're allowed 6 months, when I asked for 6 months, I didn't even say. She says, when are you going back? And I said May the 5th, and she said, oh, 6 months stamp. It was just like that. Stamp my card there. Yeah, I think you worry about it too much, John. You better not come to Mexico. I mean, if you got that on your mind about the cartel, you'd be shaking in your boots. I walk around here at nighttime, no problem. I mean, like I said, I don't even walk around in my own city at nighttime in places. But the people here are more friendly here than in the States, that's for sure, and in Canada also. That one guy that went to the real shady part of Cancun here, like where the cartel hang out, like even the police don't go there very much, unless there's like shootings and stuff. But he went down there and just walked up to people and asked, "You got any water or have you got anything to eat?" And he was getting fed and getting water given to him. You know, like the people themselves are very very nice people. But all the time. But my name is common there, and they could mister their fun. My name is not common at all. As a matter of fact, when they ask what my name is, like when I went to the hospital there, and when I went take your laundry in, they say what's your name, and I say Wayne. They it's like they've never heard of Wayne. They think it's Win, like Wine. They Wayne is not a very popular name at all, and I don't know how to say the letter Y because I can spell my name to them in Spanish otherwise, but it's the letter Y that I don't know. Yeah, I've met actually a few Johns here. Um, some Mexicans have a real Mexican name, like hard, like Alejandro, uh, Jose, names like that. Alejandro is a real Mexican type name, but there are some that are like Lucy. I know this lady that is at the dentist office. Her name's Lucy or Denise. You know, that was that retarded guy that his sister had some kids, a boy and a girl, and the retarded guy comes over and says, "What kind of name did you give them?" And he said, "Well, we haven't yet." So he says, "Well, I let me go have a look. I'll tell you some names." And so they asked him, "What do you call the girl?" And he says, "Denise." And they said, "Oh, that's really nice. What about the boy?" And he said, "Well, the nephew." "Oh, your last name is popular here." "Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, even John is popular is popular here. I've met a few of them." Well, I don't think I'd go to Cuba myself either. I think Cuba's a communist country. No, that's a little bit different. It, it's swimming distance away. They every once in a while you hear of some Cubans trying to swim over here. Well, not to here, to the U.S. It's closer to the U.S. than it is to Cancun here. And supposedly, if they swim over and they touch land, or they're not allowed to stay, but yeah, I mean they're more or less free. If you're in the water swimming, they can deter you and grab you in the boat, and then they take you back right away. But if you get to land, then it's a little different. I saw one guy. He was so close to shore, and the police were trying to catch him, and he dove down under the water and come up with a handful of sand. And he says, "I made it." So they had to. They haul them in, and they can. I think you can. It's different than when you don't touch the land and you're. But well, at least the music is playing. I can hear it every once in a while, and I have to go back and listen to this myself later on to find out what how loud it is. I can hardly hear it, and I don't know. It could be distracting. Especially, I finally figured out how to turn the volume up and down. But I'm going to be going to Eshkaret tomorrow, so I got to be up real early. I got to get a cab to go over to Wynnum Garden. I think is like a restaurant. I got to go there tomorrow at. I got to be there by 6:50 because the bus doesn't stop very long. I guess they can stop there if anybody's there to pick up. They pick them up. If there's nobody there, they go. They're gone. So if you miss your bus tour, you can always rebook. But if you miss your bus, that's it. They don't wait. And so I should have asked to find out. I think it's going to cost me more than 50 pesos to get there. It might cost 60. I don't think 70. I won't pay 70 anyway. I'll just flag a cab down. I don't think the buses go at that particular time. You could take a bus, which is 12 pesos, but it shouldn't cost any more than 50 pesos by cab to get there. And a cab, you see, I'm more worried about cab drivers than I am the cartel. The cab drivers have a syndicate going. What they do is there is only one taxi company in Cancun, and that's the one. White cars with green stripes. They don't all have the word taxi on top. None of them have meters. They just charge you what they want. So you got to know what the prices are, or else they're going to charge you a lot. Even the locals, they charge. If the locals don't know how much it costs to go somewhere, they just charge whatever. But I do know prices better now. And Uber is trying to get in to Cancun here. And what they would do is, I guess by the license plate is how you can tell whether it's a cab, a rented car, or an Uber car, or just a local license plate. So what they would do is uh, stop the Uber drivers, like run in front of them and stop them, and then pull them out of the vehicles, and then set their car on fire because they didn't want them uh, in here, and simply because the taxi service here in Cancun is run by I don't know how many people are on the top, but all the taxi drivers, there's 9,000 taxi drivers in Cancun. They all have to pay a monthly fee, plus their insurance, plus gas. Uh, but they have to pay the leader a monthly fee. That's just the way it goes. Whereas Uber, on the other hand, doesn't pay anything. There is no, they don't pay that they do with the taxi service here. So they don't want Uber here. And Uber would charge either the same amount or a slight bit more, but the service is much better. Um, so that they had there's only one way to go from downtown Cancun down to the hotel strip, and it's called the Seven. It's one road, the Kuklakan Road Highway Avenue, Kuklakan Avenue, which goes from city center across the top seven, down the side seven, and then you can go up the other way to the airport, and then take another long road back into town. So there is a loop, but what they did was they took all their taxis in town and blocked the Kuklakan Avenue off, so nobody could go there, not even the city buses, nobody, and pulled the people out of the Uber cars, the passengers, it pulled them out, uh, pulled out the drivers, beat them up, uh, set their cars on fire, not all of them, but set them on fire, and then put them on a flat deck and drive them around town showing, hey, see, this is Uber. We don't like Uber here. And finally, the government stepped in and said, okay, if any taxi driver does anything like that again to anyone, they're going to take their license away and fine them. Well, that's the last thing they want, is now to pay a fine and maybe get their license taken away, or uh, they can't work anymore for a while because the wages are so low here that, I mean, that's why there's so many scams around here, because their wages are so low. The lowest wage is something like 1,000 pesos for 15 days of work. 1,000 pesos is $50. So 15 for 15 days. So for a whole month, that's 2,000 pesos. That's $100. So the minimum kind of wage is $100 for a whole American dollars for a whole month. You can't rent an apartment and drive a vehicle and eat, and you can't live on that. I mean, I can't even live with what I get from the government as far as a Canadian goes. That's another reason I'm living in my van. I can't afford to rent an apartment and 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 still own a vehicle and then eat food and then take my medications and then have clothes on my back and forget about entertainment. There is none. So I want to stay in my van as long as I possibly can. I mean, if I'm healthy, I suppose. Um, Now that I've broken my back is sore all the time. It's not piercing pain, but I'm in pain kind of all the time, and that just goes with breaking your back. That's what happens, and when you're my age, and like I said, how would you like to live on like $1,200 a month? You can't do it. There, $1,200 a month. Rent is more than that. You know how do you eat in a month? Especially when food goes up and gas goes up, and you got to insure your vehicle. Well, I only pay $25 a month for insurance, but when you're adding that up for a full year, like, it's ridiculous. I invite anybody to just try to live on $1,200 a month. It's just about an impossibility. A Canadian, that is. And that's why in Mexico here, it's costing me just as much as if I would have went to Vancouver. My hopes we are part of your entertainment. Yeah, thank you, Michael, for stopping in. I was just explaining about how much money I make, and how you cannot afford to live. And that's what I was saying about the Mexicans. They're in the same boat. They make minimum wage is something like 2,000 pesos a month, which is $100 American a month. You can't buy very much. Even some of the rent around here is just as much as what I would pay back in Canada. How can they afford it? I feel sorry for everyone, but what can I do about it? I can't help them out. I think if I was a multimillionaire, I still couldn't afford to help everybody out. Yeah. Oh, thanks for popping in. I didn't know you were in. I see there was a few people that popped in, and then sometimes they don't say anything and just leave, but that's okay. Um, I was doing a bit of experimenting. I did a 1 hour unlisted stream just to find out to see how things were working. And things were going okay. So I think I still have enough money set aside from people that were donating to my. I didn't put up a GoFundMe page because I'm one of those people that just hate to. you hurt yourself, you fall, you break your back. What gives you the right to put up a GoFundMe page and people pay you money? Like, I don't want to ask anybody for anything. I should be able to pay my own way in life. Um, I saw on YouTube where this 82-year-old lady was working for Domino's Pizza or something, and hi Sharon, and with the ring doorbells, they have a camera on there. Well, it showed her coming up the stairs, and she tripped on the top step, fell, dropped the pizza, but got up again. She didn't break or hurt anything. But she was 82 years old, and the people that owned the house put up a GoFundMe page, and within I don't know how much time she had $285,000. $285,000. I mean, sometimes the GoFundMe's work, but I just didn't feel like I should beg for money in in that way. So I do have enough though that people were nice, kind, um, that I'm going to go for another CT scan because I thought I should go and have a follow up just to see where I'm at, see where my back is, and I had to wait for a little while. So it's been maybe 2 months since that happened, and my back is sore all the time. And it's not that I can get that fixed or not, but I want to see if my bones are healed properly, and I don't feel crooked or anything. Uh, I mean, yeah, maybe I don't really have to go and see because what can anybody do anything about it? You can't. But I mean, people were nice enough to, like I said, donate funds and things, and I have the money set aside at my PayPal account, and some of them gave like what do you call it, e-transfer right into my bank account, which is the best way to go because uh, nobody charges any money that way. PayPal, they still want their money. That's how they make their living. But if you e-transfer it, it's right in there. So I'm going to go again here in the next I'm going to go to Eshkaret tomorrow, which is going to be fun. I got to get up real early. I'm not an early bird, but I got to get up real early and take a cab over to Wyndham, Wyndham Garden. That's where I get picked up. I got to be there by 6:50 in the morning, so take a cab over there. Yeah, I don't have Zelle, but I looked that one up too. That they do the same thing. They just charge you money. It's if I just encouraged anybody that wanted to donate anything to do e-transfer, it's way simpler. You just got to know my email address, and it goes right into my bank account. No funds charged whatsoever. Like Arlen from what do you call that place? He's the owner of MTM Granite, a granite place in Medicine Hat. Him, uh, Colette, and Dave, Ghetto Van Adventure, they just e-transferred it right into my bank account. You can do it with or without a password. If you put a password on it, well, then I have to know it to get it transferred. If you don't put a password on it, just goes directly into my bank account, which was nice. And some of them sent it through PayPal, and I just left it on PayPal. I don't know if they charge you if you spend the money at PayPal. If you transfer it to your bank, I know they charge you a percentage. But and Zelle does that too. And as a matter of fact, PayPal and Zelle and a few other ones that do that kind of money transfer are changing their policy. As a matter of fact, well, I know in the U.S. this is what they're doing is the government in the U.S. wants to know, like for example, PayPal. A father gave his daughter $10,000 through PayPal. Now she just now she has $10,000, but now the government decided, well, you can't just give her $10,000. She has to pay tax on that. So now you have to fill out what's that form, tax form. There's a certain number. The government wants to keep track of every penny that you get, and they're going to tax her on that money that her father just give to like out of your pocket. So yeah, it's just amazing. You can't. The farmers in Alberta, they were. I had a friend that did taxes for the farmers, and he could get them as low as he could possibly get them, so that they don't have to pay tax. Like, give some of your land to your children, and give them some money to like transfer all this stuff, and you won't have to pay taxes on this and that, and yet the farmers would still complain. It's just like we're getting double taxed and sometimes almost triple taxed. Tax on tax on tax. Yeah, what that is, the 1099? Yeah. So PayPal is starting to do that, and Zelle is going to follow suit, and there's a few other ones that they're all going to follow suit. A matter of time when they decide. How much money are you sending me, Wayne? Because you feel sorry for me. I farm too. Yeah, oh, no, yeah, no kidding. Well, I could send you 10 pesos. Oh yeah, here is that link again. Let's see if I can send it. This is that link that I encourage everyone to go have a look at. It's called Bereshit, the first word in the King James Version Bible, and it's the uh, Hebrew language, Bereshit. It's 5 letters long. Well, the Hebrew is the oldest language in the world, and it has 3 different languages all built into one. It's got the regular letters that form words. They have pictograms, which is another language. Well, it's the same language, but it's the second language. And then each pictogram has a number associated with it. So there's numbers, pictograms, and letters of the alphabet. And within the first word of the Bible is explains from the beginning to the end. It's like simply amazing. It's an hour long video, but you'll be so captivated and with it that it's just incredible. I've got several friends that went out and had a look at it. Look, I've got part 2. I found this like a couple of years ago, and then lost the link, and I couldn't remember the word Bereshit. Uh, so then I just bumped into it again just lately. So I sent it to all my friends there, and I've had some that watched it, and they said, "Wow, simply amazing." And I found a part 2 to this, which Bereshit explains all about the first word in the Bible and from the beginning. This part 2 has got everything in there to the end, the beginning and the end. Like, I fell asleep listening, but I'm still here. You're up? You're up? Snowdebs. John, right? Another John. Snowdebs is John, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I don't know whether that's true or not. He said his name was John Smith. So we'll go with that, Mr. John or Mr. Smith. So the music in the background is not overwhelming. Is it distracting? That's the whole point. I don't know why you would want to put music in the background. It has it on here for free, a free thing, and I thought I'd put it on to see what happens. So yeah. Like I was saying, this link there that's it's over an hour long, and then part two is just under an hour long, so it's quite lengthy also, but it's good. It's good entertainment. I can't explain it, that's for sure. It makes you look 20 years younger. What the heck makes me look 20 years younger? Oh, John, with the snow devs, what's the 42 mean? You typed in 42. What does that mean? I missed something. Start singing. Too bad we can't have karaoke. Yeah, there is. I can hear every once in a while something playing in the background music. I turned the vol. The answer is 42. We can't hear you can't hear any music? There, I turned it up. Uh, the guy with the numbers. 42 is the answer. So that one, this music is called slow hip hop. There, there you can start dancing. Hip hop. For 420. You don't do the 420, do you, John? There's two clubs. Yeah, that's what else. Uh, JDS is also true. So that's music is distracting to me. Maybe awfully loud. I'm the only one that's talking anyway. Why would the music on? Yeah, I, I can turn the volume way down or I can turn it up. That's at number two. For 11, can I get it in? Six is halfway, but let's turn the music off anyway. It's just part of the. It's probably, I mean, part of the free one, but it's also if you pay for it. Uh, Up to the dance floor, Wayne. Let's go. Yeah, get on the screen there, John, and we'll and put the camera over there where your 360 camera there where we can see you dancing. I used to play drums. I used to play Wipeout when I was younger. There is a song on there that says music for games, but I how do you determine what makes music for games? This one here says video game music. Let me play it. That's the music they call game music. And then you put it on a loop so it loops over and over and over. Anyway, that's what they have for music for games. Checkmate. Yeah, no kidding. Um, Get out your camera there, John, your 360, and let's do some karaoke. Okay, well, I can't, this way with the full screen, I can't see the time. 9 o'clock here, 9 p.m. my time. And I'm going to go to bed early tonight because I got to get up real early tomorrow. I don't get up that early myself. You forgot your underwear. You're in your birthday suit. I'm wearing a shirt today. What do you know? Usually when Rob on the road comes in, he says, "Hey, you're shirtless," every time. So I thought I better wear a shirt. Maybe I should turn the air conditioning off. Here it is at 9 at night, and we still got the air conditioning on. Let me find out what the temperature is in Cancun right now, if it will tell me. Oh yeah. You turn your phone on, and then let's find out from Alexa or whatever, Siri or whatever her name is on the phone. Weather in Cancun. Oh, it doesn't talk this time. It's currently 24 degrees here. It says feels like 24. Usually she talks and tells you what the temperature is, but maybe after a certain time she doesn't want to talk anymore. People are moving north from Yuma. They're moving away from Yuma. Yuma's right at the border. I mean, you can spit across the border there to Mexico. I don't know what's the there's Yuma there. What's the Mexican city named town there? Does anybody know? What's on the Mexican side? It's just like you cross a street and you're in Mexico. My uncle, my uncle lives in Yuma in the winter time, in Canadian winter. He goes to Yuma he has a trailer that he lives in down there um, for the winter. But he has a trailer on his truck too, so I don't know whether they pull that along and live in that as they're going from Canada down there. They live in Alberta, probably closer to Edmonton than to where I'm living, Medicine Hat. I know it takes a few hours to get from where I live to his town, and I think it's pretty closer to Edmonton than me. That's for sure. A little bit south of Edmonton and east, and then from his town almost straight south to Medicine Hat and east, a little bit east. Medicine Hat is right near the corner of Alberta and Saskatchewan and the U.S. It's right in the corner. I know a farmer that lives in what town is he near? But he can put on his farmland. He can put 1 foot in Alberta and 1 foot in Saskatchewan, and he can piss in the United States. That's how he's right close to all three there on his land. There, he can touch three different provinces and states all at one time. So the nomads, John, you think are leaving Yuma? Hmm. Wonder why. Yeah, no kidding. Well endowed, all right. Well, that's one nice thing about Canada and the U.S. There's no wall. We don't have a wall up. I guess Canada better kind of do what the state says, or else we'll have a war on our hands. Yeah, people are showing plants growing and stuff already. Uh, Spring is springing in places. And then for people that still have a lot of snow, well, that your yard is being watered anyway. By the time it melts and thaws and stuff, you'll have fresh water, nice clean water for your lawn and your garden. So when you plant on May long, your plants will come up. I'll be getting back to Canada just in time for May long weekend for planting time. So Eshkaret tomorrow, and then on the 20th, I don't want to go on the 21st, the spring solstice day, because Chichen Itza, it will be really crowded that day. Everybody wants to go on that day because it's the 21st and it's the spring solstice. But you can see the snake on the pier, on the not the pyramid, the temple, 2 days before the 21st and up to 2 days after the 21st. So I'm going to go on the 20th, I think, the day before the solstice. And I can still see the snake and it won't be as crowded. Yeah, it is probably hedges in places and just farmland in others. Uh, there's one I forget the name of it. I saw it on YouTube. One city, the city is divided right down the center of some road, uh, a regular street, right down the center line is the U.S. and and then when something happened, was it 9/11 or the COVID or whatever happened? If you were a Canadian, you couldn't even walk on the other side of the road. Uh, I mean, your post office is you're living in Canada, but your post office is in the US. And so they would ask for papers and stuff, and you couldn't even drive on that road unless you were, from whatever country. They sort of cracked down a bit. Wales don't believe in borders. Yeah, they don't care. They don't know. They don't even know borders exist. No, yeah, no kidding. Man, there's quite a lag in it's more than a 6 second lag. Hi, Justina. Hey, Justina and Justin and Christina. How are you doing, my friends? Nice to see you. Nice to have you in. I've been watching a few of your shorts and a few of your videos. Nice of you to give your bicycle to somebody in need, some homeless person. That's great. A great vehicle or set of wheels. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, like I said, whatever. Sometimes what I like to do is I know shorts don't give you 1 minute of watch time in hours, but as far as your monetization goes, but sometimes I set the thing on play and I just let all the shorts play. I just let them go. Um, oh, John was still sleeping. Did you know what's going on there, John? And sometimes videos too, just let them play. At least videos will give you the watch time in hours at least. So play those, and live streams don't give you any time towards your monetized watch hours either. There is, if you go to your analytics and and type in 365 days, you'll see your watch hours there. That includes, I'm thinking that one includes your shorts and, well, everything. But if you go to the other place in the studio to see your the monetization page, that'll show you just your long videos watch time. And I had, my watch time was like this, and then it went up, and then it goes down. When you're not doing too much, it goes down. I'm in a lull right now. Um, my watch hours are going down all the time, not up, because I'm hitting that lull. Once that lull gets out of it'll take a year to get out of there. Then it should go back up a little bit at least. But like I said, I don't really care about the watch time anyways. I just need a place to put my videos so I can go back and look at them. I don't have enough hard drive space to put all my videos. And I'm probably going to be cut off of the live stream because I did an hour earlier under unlisted to check things out and see how things worked and make sure that marking my time down, because I did get an email from EVMux. They sent me exactly how many hours, minutes, and seconds I've been on. And one time, I don't know if you guys remember this, but they said that I hit my 30-hour limit. Well, now that they sent me this thing, I counted it all up, and no, it was only 27 hours, not 30. So they lied to me. And I wrote a paragraph explaining everything. And what did they write back? 3 lines, 3 sentences. And then the last sentence was, you can always purchase EVMux and you'll get unlimited time. Thank you. Just Incredible TV has become a right wing. Have you been watching him lately? He lives on an island, not Vancouver Island. He lives on his mother passed away, and he got a lot of money, and he bought himself some property on some, I don't know the name of the island. He's up high on some cliffside there, and built himself a little ski slope, and that's mostly where he is now most of the time. Just Incredible TV. I used to wake up with right next door to his right next door to him when he was living in his purple van. Um, I I met up with all those people from Vancouver when I was there. Um, there are a few of them that I think when they become popular on YouTube, and then people think that they're kind of YouTube gods, and then that goes to their head, and they think they're a YouTube god themselves. And I don't like that at all. So there was a few of them that were like that, and they what makes them so, like, people have got a swarm around them or something just because they have 100,000 subscribers or more, or whatever amount of subscribers they have. Does that make them any better than you and I? No, it doesn't. So I like to go out and talk to the um, van life people and YouTubers that are small, small like I are. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. It's not what everybody should be doing. Wow, the lag time in here is just I can see what comes up on the screen very quickly, and then 6 seconds later, it comes on the other screen. Yeah. So okay, I gotta ask Justin and Christina, who is watching? Both of you, or just one of you at the moment? And you must have the same time as I do here. I know. I think. Well, you should be in Florida still. Your last video was coming from Florida, and you said you're going to be heading back in April. It's 9:17 here at the moment. 9:17. The dog. Now, what dog are you talking about, John? Did you hear the dogs out here barking? Is that what you're saying? My microphone really picks up really well. Both. And Justin is typing. Oh, okay. So you're sitting back, relaxing, taking in the evening, nice warm weather, enjoying yourself, having a coffee. Nice of you to pop in. Love you both. Well, all four of yous. You have to teach Angel algebra. That's kind of a private joke. Nobody would know what that means unless they saw, on YouTube what I did. So that's why they call that a private joke. Only it only means something to me. But I looked into what you were saying about fridges. Uh, I'm going to check that one out. The VOVER one, or VEVOR Weber, or however you say that. That one looks very interesting and very cheap, and it's a lot better than my Nomadic that I had at one time. I don't know how many amps they draw. Um, I think even if you have, I don't have, but I think even if you have lithium batteries, um, you're still gonna, run down. Especially, I like to keep well, in the summer, it's tough because the heat is so much more, and to keep it cold. But I think I only have 300 watts of solar power, but I have three batteries. But that doesn't matter. I think you could have a storage room full of batteries, and you'll still run them down because there's just not enough in the winter to keep the batteries filled up. Location joke. Yeah, you have to be there. Yeah, and I think the algebra was the joke. It wasn't really a joke. It's got to do with aliens. Um, if aliens could really come here and see us, we would be like dogs to them. It would be like trying to teach a dog algebra. You just had to see the whole series to know what that meant. But yeah, so the aliens are looking at us like like pets. Angel can't type. How many dogs have what? 4 toes? So maybe not speed typing. They have to do paw typing, two paw typing. As a matter of fact, I never learned. Uh, I never learned typing in school either. But I'm probably a not a one finger typist. I can two finger. I can probably type. I mean, I don't even know where the. Well, I do kind of know where the letters are, and once you're typing, you can type pretty fast actually with just 2 or 3 fingers. Nowhere speed typing, that's for sure. I mean, I did try to learn myself at one time the QWERTY keyboard, QWERT and the ASDF and the ZXCV. I tried to learn that a little bit, but eh, it's a location joke. Yeah, that's for sure. It is. Snowdeb said the dog. There, the dogs are going again. Somebody walks by. Somebody told me on the last live I was on that the reason the dogs bark like that is because see that's not a normal way for a dog to be. They're bored, and that's probably true. Those dogs probably get absolutely no exercise. They're all big dogs, and they're all meant to keep people away. They're friendly and everything. As a matter of fact, when the owner comes out, sometimes they'll get out of the gate, and they'll their tails are going. They won't come over and bite you or anything, but still, they're probably bored stiff. Like nothing to do. So that's probably, and you don't even have to walk by in front there. They'll just start. One will howl, ow, and he'll howl and howl and howl at not absolutely nothing. There's there. Well, I don't know. I haven't gone out and looked, but I'm thinking of making a video where I go out into the street there and do like a conductor with music, with the hands out and go ta-da, and I can get all the dogs going all at one time and make my video. I thought that would be funny. And I think the owners are in the house. They don't come out and tell their dog to be quiet. Well, I don't know. I come from a different country where we don't like the dogs to be barking at absolutely nothing. So that's what they. I'm following Caesar Milan, who was, how to get your dog to stop barking, how to get your dog to stop pulling on the leash, how do you get him to stop doing this, and like sometimes when you used to watch his series, like this dog is completely out of control. Not necessarily biting, but out of control with when another dog walks by or something, he'll be pulling hard on his leash and Caesar Milan will take the leash, and within seconds, the dog is more or less listening to what he not pulling on the leash anymore. And you never walk your dog with the dog out in front of you. Your dog has either got to be beside you or behind you, not in front. Which if they're walking in front of you when you're walking them, they're the dominant one. Like they're the leader of the pack, and they're not supposed to be. So that, anyways, if you can get them to walk beside you and a leash that's just sort of hanging there, not holding them back, but just the dog knows enough with training that not all this heel stuff and all that, but just to know that to walk beside you or a little bit behind you, but not in front of you. And when you go out of the house and you take the dog for a walk, the dog is not the first one to walk out the door. You are, and then the dog comes out after. It's a bit a power struggle there. Man, it's been many years though since I've actually owned a dog. I was a child when I had a dog, and that dog wouldn't listen to adults, but to me, I don't remember this. That's what my parents told me, anyways. But he would listen to me. Um, when I used to play with my little toy cars and trucks in the dirt, and I'd make pathways for the cars to ride down, and he would step on that and make a mess of it, and then I'd scold him, and he wouldn't do that anymore. And my dad would tell him to do certain things, and um, he wouldn't listen. You are up and at him. Oh yeah, some dogs are probably way more stubborn, and it's funny too when you see like when you own more than one dog. Let's say three or four. It's usually the smallest one. That's that's the leader. He's the leader of the pack, the littlest guy, especially if he's a Chihuahua. He's got to be. But yeah, there are some breeds that are probably a little bit more high strung than others, and what have you. Smartness you can tell by simple ways of telling how smart a dog is by simply throwing a towel over their head and see how long it takes them to get the towel off their head. Sometimes they won't do anything, they'll just sit there. The faster he can get off his head, the smarter they are, sort of thing. Or you take a hot dog and break it in half and then let him lay down with his paws out the front of you and put a piece of hot dog on his paws and see what he does. He shouldn't take them off of there until you tell him to. I had one guy that he trained his shepherd to do that. Like when he would say right or left, the dog would get the hot dog off the right or the left side. He's such a funny guy. Uh, Please tell them I'm only joking. I don't have to tell them. You did. You just did. That's like the teacher that this one boy, he would always say, duh. How you spell that? D-U, duh. D-U-H, whatever. And the teacher would come by and she'd say, well, quit saying duh all the time. She says, can you use, can you use duh in a sentence? And the little guy says, well, of course I can. You just did. You just did. You see, am I allotted 2 hours a day as far as what they say? I've been on for 58 minutes before, and now I'm on for an hour and 8 minutes. So that's over 2 hour limit of a day. I don't know how they work their thing. I've got no notification that came up and said I'm at my 2 hour limit for the day either. So Justin and Christina have a dog. Is that is it purebred or is it pity? It looks like a well-mannered dog anyways. Nice dog. See, now there are pit bulls. Some people hate pit bull dogs. Like, why? I've seen pit bulls that are the most friendliest dog you can ask for. It all depends on how you train him. I've seen chihuahuas that'll bite your arm off if you let them. Like uh, this one pit bull that I used to follow. I forget what channel they had. That they had chicks, baby chicks, just hatched out of the eggs. They're crawling all over this dog. Or other cats or other dogs that would just hang around this dog. And well, like Caesar Milan's dog, Daddy. Daddy was a pity. That was the most friendliest. He knew how to calm down other dogs so well that when Caesar would go to someone's house, he would take Daddy along with him. And hey, Daryl, how you doing, my Vancouver friend or uh, Vancouver area friend? It must be really early for you there. Who's my daddy? No, I was talking about Caesar Milan's. He passed away now. One of his favorite dogs, Daddy, was a pity. Beautiful dog. Oh, Bulldog, Bull X, Staffordshire. Okay, and Terrier mix. Okay, who's your daddy? 6:30. Wow, the sun must be still up in your area. It's been down for a couple hours here already. I thought the Earth was turning really fast, like 1,000 miles an hour at the equator or something. How come I'm not falling off? So here's a trivia question: how fast are the human beings moving, and how come we don't fly off the Earth? Well, that's two questions. But I think is see, like at the North and South Pole, you're barely moving. And at the equator, you're moving like really fast. I think it's like 1,000 miles an hour. So you're really going fast. I mean, the sun's got to get all the way around the Earth in 24 hours. Well, back to square one. But not only is the Earth turning, the Earth's going around the sun at a certain speed. And then not only that, the whole galaxy is spinning at a certain speed. And then the galaxy is flying through space at a certain speed. So we are moving so fast, I can't remember the number, but it's thousands of miles per hour. It's like so fast you can't fathom that we're actually moving that fast. Incredible speed. But I'm full of all kinds of weird trivia questions. Something nobody would ever. Why would you want to know that? There you go. The rotation of the Earth makes us stick. That's why the clouds don't even move. They're all stuck in a position. You're falling asleep again there, John. Are you watching the YouTube on TV or on your phone? I have a friend in Medicine Hat that watches YouTube on like a 50-inch TV. Now that would be put your feet up and you can't type in very fast, I guess, because you got to go on the remote and pick the letters to type, unless you can hook a keyboard up. Okay, here we go. We get a challenge. Let me just see how well my bot is working. Let's try a few names. Oops. Why doesn't enter work? Anyway. And then we got. I think I have Daryl in here also. I think I have you programmed in here. And yeah, I don't know how come the enter key doesn't work. There we go. Band City Adventures is in there. John should be in there. I'm watching you on my 1972 Commodore computer. Oh, really? I used to have a really old, not a Commodore, but I used to have a really old Radio Shack. It was called a Coco, C-O-C-O, Coco computer. There's Snow Debs. Did I get everybody that's in here? Or that was in here earlier, at least? Thank you all for popping in anyway to watch my very, very, very humble um, stream. Michael. Michael. Michael Santana was in here earlier. He's probably, I don't know if he's in here again still or not, but anyway, we got that up there. Oh, yeah, see, look how fast that goes. And the lag is incredible. I didn't know they had them back then. I know in 82. Wasn't it a Commodore 64? Yeah, Commodore 64. That was a computer back then. Um, but they had the color computer that I had was called Color Computer. That's why it was called Coco. Coco 2. Um, you could plug in a floppy disk drive, or it had a slot in the side of it where you could put these cartridges in with games on them. But the computer itself was on a chip, which, like nowadays, when you turn your computer on, it takes you a few seconds, and then you're ready to go. Whereas back then, because everything was on a chip and there is no booting up, it was instantaneous. The second you turn your computer on, it was ready to go. Like you push the on button, poof, it's ready to go right now. And I just wondered why they can't do that today. Have it so that you turn it on and bang, it's on right now. And then you could load stuff off your hard drive, just to work it just like a regular, the way it works just now. But Coco Color Computer, Adam. I had a Coco Adam. Wow, I never heard of those. Yeah, way back when. And the floppy drive I had was a 4-inch floppy. I don't even know if you guys know what a floppy disk is, but it had one side. You could stick it in, read and write to it. Big drive, external. But then we figured out that if you take a paper hole punch and punched a hole on the other side, you could flip the floppy over and use the other side. So you doubled your your space. Uh, they had 8-inch floppy drives also, but I had a 4-inch one and a whole bunch of floppies. And they also had cartridges on the side, which were games at Radio Shack. They would have this is where that was from. The Coco was from Radio Shack. Um, they had games there that you could purchase on the and you could stick them in your computer, run a piece of software, and save it to your floppy drive. Then you didn't need that anymore. The cartridge, you could just stick your floppy in and play. It changed the guts from an old Lenovo. That's what I'm running right now, is a Lenovo computer or laptop anyway. That's what I'm running right now. A Lenovo laptop. I forget what model it is. I even got a bolt in the one side to hold it together. A bolt and a nut. Yeah, the color computer could run on my Coco could run on cassette tapes too, and the old you would take your phone and put it into two cups. You'd stick your phone in there and it go, that noise. That's and when you downloaded a picture off the internet, it would take days. It would go line by line by line, and you would try to figure out what the picture was, and you download it line by line by line. Really slow. Yeah, yeah, cassette tapes. I remember that too. Yes, it could do either or. As a matter of fact, we used to play a game, and we didn't know it back then. There was no such thing as a virus. There was no virus, but the game that we played, you could call it a virus today because I would write a program and put it on the computer, and somebody else would come along, while the other guy would come along, put his program in there to find mine and destroy it. Now, mine, I could make it so that if another program discovered it, it would replicate itself somewhere else and keep doing this. And in theory, would never get caught. That is a virus. That's the way viruses first started. They were put on computers, worms and things they were called. You put it on a computer, you'd put an antivirus or a worm killer on there to find that, but it would replicate itself somewhere else. And that's where viruses came from, where they first started. But we didn't call them viruses. It was just a game. Yeah, yeah, they're called viruses. Tick, 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 and yeah, malware and all kinds of stuff now, worms and it's just simply amazing and how these things are. There's a there's an actual section in memory where viruses like to go because uh, antivirus software doesn't check there because it's not supposed to be there. So viruses go and hide there. Well, now the antivirus programs are sophisticated. It checks that area too. But yeah, Pong. And I could take the Pong game, also had a gun that came with it. You would play Pong, but it also came with, mine came with like almost looked like a little rifle. And you could switch from Pong to this little ball that would bounce around the screen and you would shoot it with the gun. Yeah, Pong, I remember that. Black and white, especially. Black screen and white paddles and a white ball that would go back and forth. As a matter of fact, I had a friend that owned a pizza store. He owned several pizza stores. And then Pac Man came along and he got a Pac Man game in his pizza store. And that Pac Man game made more money than his pizza store did. So what he did was he sold all the pizza stores and opened up an arcade. And that's where I worked. I worked as an arcade pinball uh, Pac-Man repair guy and moving the games around from place to place to place. And taking the money out, counting, splitting the money between the owner and us. That was my job for many years. Yeah, Pac-Man made more money than the pizza store. Got to turn the air conditioner back on. Quite the days back in them days, and the days before cell phones. Like now, you can hardly talk to every single person you talk to has a cell phone on them, like a computer in your pocket, a TV and a computer and all that in your pocket. And way back when there was no such thing. How did we live? Mrs. Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got to turn the air conditioning on there, John. Sometimes I leave it run all night just to gets a little gets a little hot under the collar. Well, I don't think I'm going to stick around to find out what's going to happen with my hours, but this is weird. At least they took off my credit card. They can't charge me. um, Turn into a purple Hulk. Yeah, yeah, really, no kidding, into a purple one. All right. Steam coming out of my neck, out of my collar. What the heck time is it? As far as real time goes, I got to get to bed here soon. Just going on 10 o'clock, so that's what I think I'm going to do. I should pack her in so I can brush my teeth and hit to bed and get to bed a little early tonight, so I can get up early tomorrow and have some breakfast and get ready to go. I don't function well in the morning. It takes me a while to get going. I can function really well at midnight and after. Right on, Justin and Christina. Thank you for. I hope you had your coffee with you or your tea or whatever you're drinking there, and enjoyed maybe your popcorn. Sit back, relax, take a load off, and that was cool. As a matter of fact, have an epic night. Have a great weekend or a great week. The rest of your week and your weekend. If nobody's told you guys that they loved you today, let me be the first. I love each and every one of yous unconditionally. Whether you like it or not, I don't know, but it is what it is, and you have to accept it. I guess that's all there is to it. So take care, everybody, and stay awesome. Be cool, be kind, and stay nomadic outlaws. You know how to become a nomadic outlaw. Everybody knows. Just subscribe to Nomadic Vanman. You're automatically a nomadic outlaw. So, all right, guys, stay awesome, and we'll catch you on the next undisclosed location and pop up until Sunday, when I usually have my original live streams. All right, guys, thank you very much. Thanks for spending the time out of your day, your evening, your weekend, your morning, your day, or your evening with me. And we'll catch you guys all on the next one.